All right, we're back now with Great Day Fitness. Halloween is in the rear view mirror, and that means Thanksgiving is coming, and then the holidays will be here before you know it. Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, and they're all coming up.
Reese's peanut butter cups to cookies from and turkey. All right, so lots of parties, lots of dinners. Joe Carabase is here, and he wants to give us some helpful tips. Not that we have to be a teetotaler, not that we have to deprive ourselves, but how we don't overindulge.
That would be a tea what?
Teetotaler.
I've never heard that term.
It's a historical term. You don't do anything.
You're kidding.
Don't drink. Don't do anything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You don't do anything.
I don't recommend being a teetotaler either.
Okay.
And the reason why is it's not sustainable. So we look at the holidays, people do one of two things. One, they're like, screw it, I'm busy, I want to enjoy the holidays, I'm going to start my fitness January 1st.
Yeah,
Now is not a good time, right? You know what I call that? An automatic negative thought. You can rationalize why that makes sense, but ultimately it's keeping you right where you are and oftentimes much further away from where you want to be.
Yeah.
Do you guys know, guess, this will be fun, guess how many pounds the average American gains from Thanksgiving to January 1st?
I'm going to say
7?
8.
12.
12 pounds.
Yeah. And that study was years ago, so it's
that.
probably a lot worse now. But that's because they're essentially punting everything, right? So that's one approach. The other approach is like, all right, hey, dialed in. I'm excited. I'm motivated. I'm not going to go to holiday parties. I'm not going to have that. I'm going to be a tittler or whatever.
Teetotaler.
Teetotaler. So I'll have to get the spelling on that so I can phonetically understand it.
That's okay.
But
we want to stick to goals and not overdo it.
Exactly. So it's
such a mental game. So we need practical things. So you're walking in. There's they immediately hand you the cocktail, and there's the buffet and hors d'oeuvres going around. What do we do?
Well, before we get to that point, I would just have a strategy in place of like, hey, what is a minimal viable routine that I can do with movement, right? So is that 45 minutes of walking a week? Right? Start there, and then we can build up. Is that 2 10-minute workouts a week? Is that we have a lot of people who they don't want to work out. They do our pod. At the end of the day, they're going to increase their metabolism. They're going to burn calories. We got to have some sort of movement going on regularly. So that's one thing. The other thing is plan that. Okay, look at your schedule. When do you have the holiday party? Okay, it's Thursday night. Here's what I would say: go there and plan to enjoy yourself. But the day of, minimize those calories. Think more about shakes as opposed to food. Think more about protein as opposed from carbohydrates.
So you're saying going into the party, so therefore we can indulge at the party?
Let's face it, like we're gonna eat more than we normally would have. I'm not saying to go there and binge by any stretch, but if you're gonna have more calories later in the day, then the key is to have less calories before and less calories after. So before, I would stick to protein shakes, collagen, protein items as opposed to carbs and fats.
If you don't like the powders, like a Greek yogurt with some berries, that would be.
I think honestly, I'm a big advocate of protein powder because even people when they say they eat enough protein, if I actually dial it in and look at it, they're not nearly where they need to be, and especially women. So it's just hard to get that much that you need, especially for metabolism.
We have you can buy it, right? I know you have lots of different ones, but you had us get the Sun Warrior, which we still do, and you can get that.
That's a good vegan option.
And I do notice if I just have that in the morning, I'm less cravey all day. So start with some protein.
Absolutely. So the next day, do some sort of fast, right? So psychologically, your brain's going to say, oh, you're used to eating breakfast, you're hungry. But if you can actually just pause that for a bit, focus on drinking a lot of water, you're going to realize you're not actually hungry. What's happening is the behavioral sort of tendency that you're used to is acting up. So you're basically extending a fast so that your body can burn off those extra calories.
See, I like to go into tonight I have an event. I know it's open bar. It's going to be past hors d'oeuvres. There's going to be a dinner. And I'm going in having eaten already. So when I don't like to go hungry. I don't like to go hungry to those things. It's like food shopping when you're hungry. It's a bad idea.
I think that's a good idea. I'm just trying to get to a place of we need to understand what's going to be practical, right? The holidays do get busy, and if you're on the go and everything look, if you can have a salad loaded with protein at home before you go to a party, by all means, let's do that.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Just most people aren't going to do that. So for most people, I'm just suggesting that get to the party, but before you get to the party, just try to minimize the calories up to that point, because I know you're busy. And then when you get to the party, yes, obviously focus more on protein, and then don't overindulge.
Joe has a special just for Great Day Connecticut viewers. You can get 60% off an introductory toning session when you mention WFSB. Head to definewellnesscenter.com for more.
Yeah, right in Glastonbury. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Joe,
guys.
it's a pleasure.
I learned something today. Teetotaler.
Teetotaler. Teetotaler. We're going to help you right after. More from inspiration to more information. Eyewitness News at 4 is coming up next. Stay with us.
Nice
Absolutely.
segue.
We learned what a stool pigeon was on Great Day at 9A. It's an informant.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know what a yard goat is?
A yard goat is a goat. Yeah. That kind of
Used to work on the railroad.